Hey guys, it's Kyle, or Vulcan Wolverine. It is Friday, September the 11th, and that's kind of why I'm making this video today. I was kind of thinking about it this morning and thinking about like it wasn't just 9/11 that led to all the stuff we're going through, but just kind of the state of how bad things are. And, I really want to say up front, like, I haven't wanted to make a video lately. I've been putting it off, even though I do have information that I want to tell everybody. But I actually want to tell y'all I don't really want to make a video because it's like my attackers are still attacking me every night and every day and even today. And it seems like a kind of a sorrowful day to murder your neighbor because it is like 14 years to the date after September 11th, and the terrorists attacked us, or whatever theory you have about it. I have different theories. I think that the Patriot Act and this kind of darkness that everybody, with this gang stalking and all these weird draconian programs, I kind of have different theories about it. But that's not what I want to go into right now. I've been still getting attacked, still using my plates, so toning it down a little bit. I still do have information that I want to tell you guys. I just made 2 short videos in the last couple of weeks. One about my dog. I'm very worried about her. Her breathing is labored all the time. Her eyes are dilated. I got a lot of comments like, you should bring her to the vet. This isn't, you don't need to be worried about this, just bring her to the vet or whatever. But it's like, if I go to the vet, it's like I'm gonna be like her breathing is labored. Her eyes are dilated. She's tossing, turning, twitching. It's the same symptoms as what I'm having from the directed energy weapons, the electromagnetic frequencies that they're shooting at me. So I feel like I'd go in there and I'd be like, well, nobody believes me, but my neighbors are shooting this stuff at me, and I think it's affecting my dog. Because if I don't do that, I don't think they're going to find anything, because all this stuff really screws us up. But I've been to a doctor many times, and they can't find things on X-rays because the microwave radiation that they use is non-ionizing. It doesn't last to where they can see it, I guess. I really don't know the medical complications of all that. But anyway, I got those comments. I thank you for my comments about your concern for my pet. A lot of other targeted individuals have concerns for their pets. A lot of mothers who are being targeted have concerns for their children being around this, or their children actually being directly hit by these things. So I know we're all experiencing that. You see, this is like right now, I just feel like I'll just tell you guys. I feel like I'm forcing myself to make a video. I feel like I'm saying the same stuff over and over again, and I'm getting really tired of it. Like right back here, right behind me, I have 4 or 5 people in this house and people over in this house. They're watching me right now make this video, trying to shoot. They've gotten a little bit of the EHF, so I hear a little bit of the high-pitched sound, and trying to shoot me with ELF on a Friday afternoon, and he keeps going. He keeps going. I saw him walk outside the other day, and he had his little stupid glasses on with his phone, and he's just pretending to be this regular guy, and it just goes on, and he's this psychopath. And it's like, I feel like making videos, I'm just saying the same things over. I'm trying to be, I guess I don't have to try and be. I really do have faith that we're working towards something, but I'm getting very tired. I'm getting frustrated. It's putting my life on hold. It's hurting every good person I know who's involved in this. It sets them back. It hurts them. And all these people who don't care about life, they're getting stacks of money. They enjoy hurting people. It's rewarding this evil. And I just don't know what, and I guess it is a good day to make this, 14 years after 9/11. I don't know what country I'm living in. I don't recognize it. Telling the truth, I have a neighbor who is a very good man. Like, he's a very good man, and we have been friends all since I was here. And when this started happening to me, I guess about a year or two after, I told him, I was like, dude, this guy is like shooting stuff at me. You know, it's really weird. It's like this thing called gang stalking. And he was like, oh, the guy's doing that? And I was like, yeah, because, like, I guess I don't know, you can go look it up or whatever. And he's an older man, really good. And over time, not immediately, he didn't stop talking to me, but I think he talked to the neighbors and stuff like that. They obviously didn't tell him they were doing this. And now he is actually, when I go outside, he'll drive away in his truck at the exact same time. Too many times to be a coincidence. So, because I told the truth about this guy murdering me with this program, this guy actually, being a good man, got involved in this program at a compartmentalized another level of it, where he doesn't know that I'm being murdered in my house, but he's like, this guy, what he's telling me is too crazy to be true. And then he got involved in another level of it, to where he's driving his car, going outside at the same time as I'm going out, because he thinks the things I'm saying about the program. So he's actually involved in the same program, thinking he's working on some completely different level. Like, and I guess it's so confusing that I guess I can't explain it right, but the deceit is so thick that it dishonors this good man. Like, I'm a good person living in my house. It separates us as neighbors, and I see this on a bigger scale. I'm a good person, he's a good person, like, a lot of my neighbors are good people, and then these bad people are getting gifts and money, and, they are making their lives around this, while it separates good neighbors. Like, I don't know how we can help each other now, because there's a rift in our communication in what we think is going on and what's happening. So it's like I see this on the level of my neighborhood, my family, this guy doing it to me, and I realize it's happening all over our country and in the world to experiment with these weapons or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the full scope of it, but I know that it's doing the opposite. It's punishing good people and putting them in hell. And it is really rewarding people who don't care about human life. And it really, I guess this is an angry rant. And I guess it had to come out because I've waited so long to make a video. And usually I'll get on a video. I'm not trying to manipulate myself or lie to anybody, but I try to remain positive, because I still have faith in God, and I will have that, even if these people kill me. And God willing, they won't. Right now they're not hurting me too much. So I want to get off of that angry rant, but it's just, last night, I kind of want to say one last thing. It's like, last night I was really just sitting there, and they were, microwaving my testicles. My testicles were sore. Today they've been shooting my eyes. Like, if my eyes start watering or start touching my eyes, they'll really go for my eyes. So make sure you keep your face and your eyes clean, because if you keep everything clean, they can't, like, the directed energy they're shooting at your face won't affect you pretty much at all, unless it's very powerful. If it's a weak signal, the only way it can affect you is if your eyes are watering and stuff like that. But I was thinking last night, and I'm just thinking, I know the remote neural monitoring, and I want to slip in my YouTube friend and target individual friend. He deals with a lot of remote neural monitoring. His YouTube handle is I'm You. So go check out his videos. I haven't been able to. I tried to get on there, and I've looked at some of them, but then, like, they're really screwing with my computer, and so I have to sit there forever. But I'm gonna try and go. And I'm subscribed to him on my channel. I'm You is his handle, and he's been involved in a lot of the remote neural monitoring. Very strong spiritual guy. So check out his channel. Really give him a lot of support, because he has a lot of good information. But I'm sitting there, and I get a lot of information from other target individuals, from research about what they're seeing when they remote neural monitor with microwaves. Me and this other target individual were talking about it. They literally can see, Like when you think, they can see printed out words of what you see. They can see images in your head with the microwave. So it's very advanced technology. I was kind of playing around with it, and I can get reactions because his wife is terrified by this stuff. She wants it off. It's sick because she's a normal person, so it's sick to her. And so like I'll think certain things, and then I'll hear a reaction, an honest reaction from her. Then I'll hear him talking. He's just screwing around with this or whatever. And I kind of wonder how it all works. But I think about how advanced this technology is, and it's just like it could be used to change lives so much. It's like neurologists. If neurologists had this, neurosurgeons had this, psychiatrists, psychologists had this stuff, and they were learning about the brain from an angle of like really just helping people in the medical field, like Alzheimer's, babies with tumors, like people who get aneurysms, strokes, everything, like people who have brain injuries when they have surgery. These things could be, cured and affected a million times more. And it's so idiotic. I was sitting there and it depressed me so much more. And this will be the end of my anger rant. I'm sorry about this, y'all. Really, I'm not. I'm very angry about it because there's some idiots who want to kill somebody. They want to point at a screen, and they don't know anything about the brain. They don't know what they're looking at. This is like a very, 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 very primary version of this technology that can do these amazing things. It's amazing, and it's like, very first level version. They really can. I mean, they really can. Like, if you're like thinking something, they can see it in word form. And I was thinking about like the screens they're looking at and stuff like this, and that's what the remote neural monitoring entails. We need to get a lot more into that because what they're doing is they're using it on this war level where they're just learning on a base level how to control people, how to hurt them with it. How to control people, how to hurt them on a like this primal warlike level. They're using this technology that, if put on the other side with neurobiologists, neuroscientists, psychiatrists, neurosurgeons, it could change our world. Like it could create such safety for us, and really cross out these people who are doing this, because they have to lie, they have to hide this stuff, and I just think maybe eventually, hopefully, through all the chaos and stuff, it will eventually erase the existence. They'll go extinct, the people who are doing this, because people's minds you'll be able to see what people are thinking, and people won't be able to hide so much, and it won't really help these murderers. Is the ironic thing. It's a very ironic thing to me, because this guy is like a sociopath. He has to hide the murder. He has to hide what he's thinking. He is a big secret. He is a lie, and he's like using this equipment, I guess, hopefully to advance it, because it's not going to remain a secret for long. Like I sound crazy now to normal people, and they're like, "No way can anybody do that." Like for a long time, I didn't want to realize the advanced things that microwaves can do and read out. And I don't know if they can map the whole brain, but they're getting to a point where these people have too much power. They're not people who care about people, and they have a lot of power. They're using it to murder and to make war on people in their homes. So it's like, it depressed me a lot because my dad had an aneurysm. And I'll just say, my not my opinion, but how everything was, and there are no coincidences when you're being gang stalked, they gave him an aneurysm. It wasn't planned. They started hitting him with this equipment. He got an aneurysm. He almost died. And then I think about it, like, without this, if he would have gotten that aneurysm just by chance, and this equipment would have been had by his neurosurgeon in the neuromedical center where he went, he would have healed up about it wouldn't have even been that big of a danger. Oh, we can correct this. We can see exactly where these problems are. We can see how he's thinking and stuff like that. and he has healed, and it's been a miracle. But it's so depressing to know, and it seems like it's done with a lot of technologies. Scared, greedy people who really hate humanity get their hands on it, and it's so advanced. It is so advanced, and this is a level of the equipment that is a basic, rudimentary level of the equipment, and it's so advanced, far beyond anything that we know in our society. Neurobiologists and neuroscientists are writing, articles on things where they are like 150 to 100 years behind what some dickhead who lives next to me is murdering me with and my family. I'm sorry, that's the end of my angry rant. It made me very, very depressed, because it seems like an ass backwards way to do anything. In advancements that could happen if this equipment was put out the right way to help humanity, to help our species, we could have advancements that are going to take 150 years to 200 years with all the greed and the secrecy and the money making and the people slaughtering people. It's going to take so much longer than if you did it the right way. If you released it to the public and you had a bunch of minds working on it, you don't have minds working on it. This guy has his hands on this equipment. He's not working on it. He's not working on understanding the human brain. He's not working on understanding people. He's working on keeping the secret that he has that technology and hurting me and murdering me and putting me out of the picture. So it's like this guy who's not, it's not only bad science, it's taking something that is so advanced and could just change our lives in so many great ways. I mean, like, there are like thousands of babies who maybe would have some kind of brain injury or something that would be able to totally just fix that immediately, or Alzheimer's patients that you could know what they're thinking to be able to better treat them, mentally handicapped people whose families could be more involved in their lives so they could be independent, could be involved in their lives further away from them. It's just blind people who have never seen, who you could use this microwave technology to allow them to see colors and images. Like, it's mind-boggling. And I understand that normal people, if you haven't been introduced to this technology or you haven't been a victim of it, you'll think I'm just a madman or whatever. I really understand that, and I really don't care. It's really out there. This technology really exists, and it's in the hands of buffoons who they're using it, to better war, to better control people, to do evil things with. Greed and corporate greed and military greed and fear are doing again what they've always done with advanced technology. And I don't know. I know the military-industrial complex does this with almost everything. So I guess we've got to expect this, but it's got to change somehow, because things that could happen in 10 years' time are going to take a lot of kicking and screaming, innocent people, mothers and young women dying and being raped, for 150 to 200 years from now, having advancements that could be had in 10 to 20 years if you came at this the right way with this technology. I guess that's my opinion of it, and people can think what they want. I'm in no position to lie about this. I'm in no position to tiptoe around what is being used anymore, and I'm very certain of it. End of angry rant. I want to kind of get back to positive. Check out that guy's YouTube channel. I don't want to give out his name. I guess he won't care, because I've actually read things that were written by him. It's Jeff. And he has a channel. I'm You is his YouTube handle. Knows a lot about remote neural monitoring, and so y'all should check that out. And I do, on a positive note, I'm sitting on equipment that has made this 90% to 95% better. I don't know about the stuff that is passive, like the remote neural monitoring, where they're actually microwaving my head and seeing something. I don't know how well I'm affecting those things, but I do know about the dream manipulation, things that that aren't passive, that are active in my mind, that it does buffer those things. And then especially the EHF, the high pitched sounds, the ELF, those things that I'm sitting on technology. I've just had to buy too much of it. I've had to spend too much money to affect it, because it's like with people in a house, they're not accountable. They're sitting there with all the time in the world. It's like they just have all the time in the world to build up, to get other people to slowly, funnel weapons into the house and stuff like that. But yeah, so I want to kind of slow down. I want to get less angry. That had to come out, I think, because I haven't made a video in a while, and I've been putting it off. Not because of that, but basically because I keep saying the same things. And I do have a fear, and I'll go ahead and open up to y'all about this for obvious reasons. And you'll see comments, and I think my aunt has access to this channel, and my cousin. So for obvious reasons, like saying these things that I know to be true, that people aren't ready for, and they don't know about, it does put a fear into me, because I want to tell the truth. And it's like, I know I'm sitting here talking about that remote neural monitoring, and I know that the majority of people who are watching this are like, no way in hell, this guy's nuts. And I know that the target individuals who I'm talking to are like, yep, that's what I'm experiencing. So I do want to notate that that fear, because as I get deeper into it and more time goes by, I do want to tell more and more of the truth about what I know is happening with the technology. And it's a lot of stuff that it's doing, but then I stop, because when I think about my parents, it's like just telling them that this guy is shooting something that can hurt my arm or my head inside my house is a far jump for them. So, you add in stuff about remote neural monitoring, because these people are, basically taking a peek at images in your brain or whatever, or just your visual cortex or whatever, and people are going to be like, no way, nope, that's it, cut it off, eat people you really love. But we got to get there where we convince them it's happening, because it's for their safety too. This is if it comes through the back door, and it's used just by greedy people and people who want to hide it and make money and don't really value human life, we won't. It will be so long before we get good advancements off of this. And it is technology that can be used for the best things that I could ever think of, the best things that I could ever imagine. And that's what's very depressing to me, that it's like I'm a good person, I'm being held captive in my house by it, and this guy is trying to hide a murder with it and convince people that it's okay to hurt me and torture me all the time. So it's like going the exact opposite way of what this stuff is, the potential for it is. That's my angry rant. You might hear it again and again. Although on the other side of it, the double-edged sword, I do believe God has a reason for everything. I still have faith. Last night I was on a conference call and we were all laughing. So you have to laugh about it. Just right now, I'm not in a laughing mood. I'm venting a lot, and I have to. I have to do it, and I have to do it to you guys. I have to vent on these videos, because it's like I was talking to my mom about it, not the remote neural monitoring. Obviously, I don't say anything about that. And she just she'd shut down and go on to another topic, and I got so frustrated. I just try and tell them, it's like this guy with this stuff, and it's a dangerous situation. High pitched sounds. He's saying he wants to get me out of the house through V2K. Directed microwave hearing. And it's not true. He's gonna hit me wherever I go in the world, which I kind of people do say, there are a lot of delivery mechanisms, and I think that it's done, through drones, through satellites, over the horizon radar, lots of different things, ground weapons. But for me, my theory of the cheapest way that they do it, remotely hit us, and they can even do this, even if you're on the other side of the earth, is over-the-horizon radar. I think satellite is a backup that they use, and I think that's a little bit harder for them to do. But the over-the-horizon radar bounces off our ionosphere, so they shoot these frequencies, and they can pinpoint you. They can shoot a frequency out to pinpoint your signature, and then hit you with the frequency. So it's such advanced technology. Microwaves are, it is almost like, and to a lot of people who think that targeted individuals are crazy, it is pretty much akin to magic. So it's a very complicated matter where if I just say these people are psychopaths, which they are, they can trick a lot of people into, because they have such powerful equipment that's almost like magic. It's like it can wash away and justify it for a lot of people who don't use their brains and kind of just go at things, and they've got the power to do it, so they're not going to get caught, and it doesn't matter. They can make up a lot of lies around it. But I mean, y'all know, we're like, speaking to target individuals, and I guess I'll speak to everybody. We're making great strides in it. I talk on these conference calls, the strongest, nicest people, most level-headed people I've ever talked to in my life. They've got plans and strategies. Activism is a huge one, but then there's a lot of evidence gatherers who we're starting to have equipment that's going to be able to trace this stuff. I'm getting a trimeter. I know I've been saying that for a long time. The reason I've been putting that off is because I've been getting more defensive stuff, the plates, because they do work so well. And I just want to warn anybody who uses plates or plugs or anything like that, be patient. You have to be. With this technology, anything to defend this stuff, personal defenders from Q-Waves, Altera whole house plugs, the Q-Wave tabletop defenders, it's going to take, because I moved one plate to the center of the house, and I started to feel the ELF a lot more on the side of my head. It was a lot more powerful. I moved the plate back to the other side of the house so I'd have more over there. So I have a group of plates over there and then a group of plates on the other side. But it took about 2 days for it to settle. So even when I moved it back to the right place, in front of the right place, it took about 2 days for it to really, for it to buffer down what they were doing. And it hasn't buffered it out completely, but and that's the weird thing. It's like I'm buffering out at least 90%, 90 to 95% with it, and it's still annoying, and it still stops my life. A lady on the conference call last night, she had some very good advice, and it's something that I'll tell myself over and over again, and y'all over and over again. We're not going to be able to wait. We're not going to be able to put our lives on hold and wait for this to blow over. I hope it blows over tomorrow. I hope legislation's made. I hope we make great strides within the next year. But we need to go on with our lives. And I tell myself that. I'm not giving advice because I sit in my enclosure and I've just been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel and playing video games. Like I have done stuff like I'm putting rocks out my driveway, like I'm redoing my driveway. I go help my mom, but basically right now it's like I'm sitting here waiting for my Social Security. I'm like God, please give me that Social Security, because if I have a little bit of money, I will be able to get a leg up. Without money, it's like my parents are helping me pay for things that are necessities, like some of my bills, food, things that come along the way. So I don't have any extra money to be like fighting something that nobody even believes me about. So I have to have a little bit of extra money to put a little bit of it into that fight. I know that we all feel that way. It's frustrating because it's like they seem to have a lot of people who are just willing to go along. They don't care who they're killing. It's like, yeah, I hate this guy, he's crazy, blah, 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 because we want to use this technology. And so they can, get people. There are a lot of, Florida license plates in my neighborhood and, out-of-state license plates when I see vehicular stalking. So there's a lot of people all around the nation who secretly, help with this program, whether they know what they're doing or not. But there's also a lot of people with the microwave equipment who are ready to pitch in, and so the weapons, they don't have to spend so much money. Somebody's spending a lot of money on the weaponry, but the people who are using it are actually making money. They're making money to actually handle this very expensive equipment. While we, on the other hand, it's like nobody on our side really knows what's going on. They don't know the score, and then we have to spend what little money we have because we can't hold. Well, I mean, I did hold a job, and I know a lot of us do hold jobs. I commend people for that. Right now, I'm trying to get Social Security. We try and take the little bit of money that we can have, to live the most normal lives we can, to buy defenses when we know about those defenses, when we even know about them. And then most of the time, you got to buy something and analyze if it's going to work and experiment with it. Where these people, this program, these weapons have been tested, people are passing them around. And it's frustrating because they're in the wrong hands. Like, that's a statement that I'll make, and I know that my attackers are surveilling me. They do hear me behind me, and I'll make that statement, and I will never feel guilt about it. These weapons are in the wrong hands. They're in the wrong hands. If innocent people and innocent Americans are being raped and killed and cooked, and they're being psychologically tortured and physically tortured, the weapons are in the wrong hands. Any experimentation with this weaponry can be done on a voluntary basis or some other way, because I know what they're using on me. So you could get a volunteer who's at the same level and pay him money, and then there'd be tons of people who would volunteer for this if they knew it would have a positive outcome. I want to get off of that because my mind's stuck on that. My mind is very stuck on that because last night it was just kind of like, I've known for years, kind of what this entails, and I don't see the equipment they're using. So, I know it on a certain level, but last night it was just, I don't know, something hit me, and it was just like, wow, if it was done from the other way, we could have advancements within years that could change people's lives in such a positive way. And right now we have people who they're sociopaths themselves. They need mental help themselves, so they don't understand the brain or normal people, and they have this stuff that's digging into our heads, that's microwaving us, that's hurting our bodies, that if you put it in the hands of somebody who had studied the brain their whole life, it could just make advancements that you couldn't even imagine. And I'm sure in an evil, corrupt way, information's getting places about this stuff, but it could be done in a way that's a million times better. I guess the fact that we can all feel good about, I guess, as humans, is that even though it'll take longer and through our hell, advancements will come that aren't only for war and controlling people, but are for healing the human mind and truly understanding it. People will gain that understanding, even if this man murdering me behind me doesn't ever understand it. I guess we can kind of take comfort in that. I was kind of saying I was at the end of my rope because I'm sitting here dealing with this all the time, and I was just like, well, it's I can't stop y'all from doing it. His own wife can't stop him from doing it. She's the nicest person in the world. They've got kids. She doesn't want it in her house, and he's like, I got to do this. I got to do this. She can't convince him to stop, so I'm not going to be able to convince him to stop by, calling him basically the worst person I've ever known. And so I was kind of at a point where it's just like, well, y'all are going to move forward, and I'm going to move forward. And I think that's kind of the tack that maybe all targeted individuals need to take. These people are going to move forward. They're going to be trying to hide this technology. They're going to be trying to do bad things with it. They're going to be trying to come in the back door with this technology and do what they want to do. And we've got to we've got to move forward, because the more information that we can get out there, and if we can force this technology to come out into the public. We can force these people to have to reveal it because they've just screwed the pooch so bad, which I feel is coming. Then we'll be able to quickly, more quickly have advancements that can help our society. It's very important, and I realize as this goes on, and I do realize this. Like a regular person who doesn't know about this technology and who would think I have a mental illness would be like, wow, well, it's that's the signs of a mental illness or something. But for me, it has become more important as it's gone along. At first, it was like, I'm getting hurt, I want to get out of this. Then I realized young women and Americans, the same thing's happening to them, so it's important to help them. But I realized on a bigger scale, a lot of it has to do with our whole society, and whether we want things to just kill people and be vicious and mutilate our society, cause people to be greedy and corrupt, or if we want to take it and give it to the public and so advancements can be made. And I know this in like aerodynamics, like rocket propulsion, things like that. There are a lot of things that are kept secret by the military industrial complex. Advanced weaponry like this, directed energy weapons. It's always weapons first. It's always hiding it. And there are a lot of things that could change the world that are hidden for, on purpose because greedy, scared people want to keep their money. But, I mean, we got to find a way on this one and other things and other technology because I had never delved into that aspect of it so much. I had it on the periphery of my mind, but it's a very, very important thing, and it's depressing to know this is how our society works. For our whole species as a whole, it will stunt our growth. It will keep us from doing things that we'll eventually get to, kicking and screaming and with a lot of war and death and useless killing. We'll eventually get there over a lot more time than it would take if we did things the right way. Our environment, our society is corrupt and messed up where people will do the wrong thing more easily. And it's important. It's important that, we as target individuals try and get out as much information, try and be the best person you can in this. And I guess this is going to be a rant video. I'm not going to really turn it around into anything funny because it's really what's in my heart right now. So, sorry. Sorry about that. But yeah, is there anything else I want to tell y'all? Get on the conference calls. Get on the conference calls because last night it's like for 2 hours or however long that conference call was. The moderator, he's awesome. He's really funny, and we were all laughing. We came away with positive things. We're trying to do initiatives. Get in touch with the organizations. TalkShoe.com. You'll get a better understanding of the big picture, what everybody else is going through. You can really set it up in your mind what's really happening with you if you get in touch with that. And there are perpetrators who do get on the calls and they'll mess with people and they'll try and destroy calls, small conference calls, but there are bigger conference calls that people can't get through on. There are smaller conference calls where the perpetrators really can't make that big of a difference. But I guess that's about it. I just wanted to kind of reach out and do a video because I hadn't done one in a long time. I guess I did. It was like a week and a half ago. Still kind of just trucking along. Want to know how y'all are doing? Leave me comments. Definitely try and get on those conference calls. TalkShoe.com. F Freedom from Covert Harassment. FCCHS. Get with them. Because they have a lot of good ideas. And in time, I mean, it's just going to take time. I mean, I already have a lot of thoughts. If I had a little bit of money, there's even equipment. I know there's ham radio even equipment. You could pick up some of these signals. Trimeters, you can get levels of microwave radiation. There's stuff even now, so it's like it's not hopeless, and it is going to happen no matter what. And I'm not trying to make a hopeless video here, a depressed video, because it is happening as we speak. Like strides to getting the information out, to taking this technology out of the wrong hands, because it'll be forced. It'll have to be forced. And I'm not talking violence. I'm talking at risk of them, getting in legal trouble. These weapons being held accountable by policemen, by these agencies. It will happen. It's coming. It's coming. The people who rolled out this program know it's coming. I don't say that because I'm part of them or anything, but I say that because it's just a general feeling that everybody, every targeted individual talks about. I feel it in my gut that it's coming. I just don't know when. And so I do hang by a thread sometimes, and I do get cabin fever, and I feel like I'm not doing enough, and I can't, like when I was 10 I got Crohn's, and then I've had Crohn's since, and a big problem of mine was waiting to live life. When I was hurting and I was like on a couch kind of crouched over, I was like, well, I'll just wait for the pain to go away. I'll wait to heal up. I'll wait to heal up completely, and then I'll get on with my life. An important thing for us, in one of these, a woman on the conference call last night, she just said it great. She was like, we have to live our lives no matter what. It's very important, and it's important for the information getting out, for us being accepted in society, and what we have to say in society. If we have to live in society. These people want us out of society. They want us isolated to ourselves so we can't cause trouble for them. So it's not only important for your own health, and like I'm telling myself this because I do a bad job. I sit in my enclosure, me and my dog, we both feel like hell. We make an easy target, and we sit there and we watch Buffy and we eat chicken nuggets. That's what I've been doing for the last couple of days. Which chicken nuggets aren't bad. Probably not the best food, but you get some good sauce, and it's really fun. Buffy Vampire Slayer is a great show, but the point is that we've got to, and I say this to myself, we've got to force yourself to get out there. I sat there for an hour because my mom is bringing over sand and rocks to pave my driveway. We're putting that in my driveway because I have roots, and I sat there for an hour tired and I don't want to do it. I gotta force myself to go do it. But once I got up and I went and did it, I got done what I could do with what she gave me, and I wanted to do more. Today I was gonna take a run. I was sitting there for an hour trying to get myself pumped up. Get yourself pumped up to do stuff, because when you start doing it, you might not want to stop. You might want to do more. And like I've told y'all many times before, if anybody watches my videos, I try and give myself advice. And that's why I do these things kind of off the cuff, because I find myself giving myself good advice. I've told y'all I've actually gone back to videos I've made before, and I'm like, wow, that's some good advice. I need to listen to that now. Because we go through different stages, and you might feel strong one day. And also my friend said this, my target individual friend who I talked to, he said, you go through highs and lows in this stuff. Sometimes I'll probably catch you on a downtime, or you'll catch me on a downtime. And he's exactly right. So these videos, I have to tell y'all, are really even great for me, because I'll go back and see where I was a year ago. See how I've changed. I can mark what they're doing to me, how I'm handling it. And it's depressing on a physical level, on a human level. It is hard to deal with this stuff, and as days go by, it does become more monotonous torture. You feel like you're never going to get out of it. But I have to admit, and this is, y'all know this about me, on a spiritual level, this has made me very strong. I do trust in God. I trust in His timing. Sometimes I worry about the same things y'all do. Like, these guys hit me in the testicles with the microwaves. It makes me sore. I can't really get a girlfriend the way my house looks right now. And I do worry that I won't be able to have a family, that maybe I won't be able to have kids. A lot of big issues, but spiritually, you need to give those things to God. Give those things to God and trust in His timing. He can renew things. Like, He can renew things beyond our imagining. I not only have faith in this, I've seen it time and time again. I've seen it time and time again, and there's so much synchronicity in my life from a loving force in this universe that guides us and is there. It is there. It is there, and it keeps giving me signals to move forward. It keeps me in high spirits. I'm gonna be human. I'm gonna get angry about this. This is something to get angry about. I don't understand how these people can, pump themselves up with so much hate and do something like this to somebody and not hate themselves instead. I don't understand that, but I can understand our anger. I can understand targeted individuals' anger, our hopelessness sometimes. Spiritually, let it strengthen you. Force yourself to go out. Don't put it in people's faces. Like, I'm not going to go up to my mom and tell her what I said on this video. Not because I'm ashamed of it or don't believe in it, but I'm not going to go up to my mom and be like, hey, Mom, these guys, man, the other night I was, thinking some thoughts. They were reacting to it, and it's like they have to be able to microwave. They have to be able to be seeing something, like that. We don't have conversations like that, and I may never, ever have conversations with my mom like that. Maybe I will. Maybe this technology, the knowledge of it will come out. I'll be vindicated. But either way, I have to still grow spiritually strong and trust in God and trust in His plan. No matter how crazy it may seem to me, no matter how much a part of my plan I don't really want it to be, because, like I said, on the other hand, like, even though this is a terrible situation, I don't want to be here. Like, I think I could help people more if I was healthy and I was doing, going out there and not focusing on this. But on the other hand, I was sitting in the bathtub the other night, and when I was a young boy and I got Crohn's and I was like in one of my well periods, I asked him, I said, I just want to be able to help people, God. And you got to be careful what you ask for. And the thing is, I know I'm helping people here. So in a lot of ways, that gives me peace. So you have to look for that. You have to really look in an impossible situation, because this is an impossible situation. Our human bodies aren't built for this, to be tortured all the time, to have people lie about you while they torture you, and it is scary. I'm not going to shrink down from it, but I'm not going to deny that some guy sitting in his house making trouble for me while he really hurts me and hurts my body and hurts my family isn't a scary idea. But I'm not going to shrink away from it. But it's like we have to look, because there are incredibly awesome things that you might not see, that maybe you've wanted all your life in this situation. I know that's kind of a crazy notion, but I say it all the time. I say it to targeted individuals. Like, we all have, as targeted individuals, we've all been targeted by the universe, whether we like it or not. And you can make it mean something. You can help people. You can give your unique perspective to help the world in this, and move forward. Or you can think that the world means nothing, it's horrible, we can't fix it. Like, you've got a choice. You got a choice. Even in this, we always have a choice. And I know I was talking to a target individual on one of the calls, and he was like, it's just like, we're being controlled. We don't have lives. We can't do anything. These people have total control over us. That's not true. Even in mind control and microwaves, you still have a choice. Maybe one day these people will get a microwave powerful enough to take away all freedom and, make a person an automaton. Maybe 1,000 years from now, they will find a way to do that. But right now, that's not the case. They can affect emotions, do small things, affect our dreams, scare us, intimidate us, And those things do have control, but you still have a choice in those things to make good on your life. I want to go ahead and end this. I want to go ahead and end this on an up note. And y'all know I'm a huge nerd. You know I'm like a comic book nerd. I'm a movie nerd. I was watching Angel the other day, and I watched that show when I was younger. Like when I was in college when it first came out. I watched it, and it really hit me. And it was before a lot of real bad pain, like especially this targeting came into my life. And I'm revisiting some of that stuff now. And I just remember what I felt back then. And there's a part where he's talking to his son Connor, and I don't know I don't remember the situation or whatever. It's too long to really explain. But he says they're champions in the world, and it doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter what they've gone through. It doesn't even matter if they make a difference. It matters that they try and that they show the world what it can be. They act like the world is the way it should be, so they can show it what it can be. So we've got to act like the world is the way it should be to show it what it can be. God, I massacred that line, but it meant a lot to me back then. It's important that we show the world what it can be. You know, we don't pretend that there's good things in the world, that some things are the way they should be, because there are good people out there. There are good situations. So, and there are champions out there. You know, there are champions, and you've got to act, and you've got to try and make the world the way it should be to show what it can be. Be a champion, you know. It makes a difference. Like, it really makes a difference. And I know that's so nerdy. Like, I just want to let it all come out. I want to let the nerd in me, because those things really hit me a lot. I mean, it's like, that's my favorite artist. Joss Whedon is my favorite artist in the world, and he just, like, a very smart guy about the world. But, like, seriously, like, we've got to show the world what it can be, because what's happened is the environment's so sick, and people just feel like, and this man is literally murdering my family and saying he's got to do it. Money and whatever he's involved in, it's sick to me. To him, he's got to do it. You know, and that's sick. That's even if it's the environment and he feels he has to do it, that means our environment's sick. It means that things aren't the way they should be. If he's killing innocent people, innocent Americans who are his neighbors, and saying he should be doing it. And literally, I just heard that on the V2K. He's like, I gotta do it. You know, we've gotta not only, you know, try and find that in ourselves in this impossible situation, but find it in our environments. Find that the way things should be, and kind of try and get it there. And it's not going to be able to be forced by violence or anything like that. Violence makes things worse. You're not going to be able to lie or manipulate your way into it, because lies and manipulation, look what they make. Look at all this. Look at this gang stalking, how much suffering is involved in it. Lies, families destroyed, women raped and poisoned, people poisoned in their homes, animals abused. Lies and violence aren't going to get us there. There's a big philosophy that is going around in the world that the means justify the ends. We know that with our government, with a lot of things that happen, that it's like, that is a very almost cult-like belief in a lot of people nowadays, that the means justify the ends, and it doesn't matter what they do, no matter how evil, if they think that it's going to get to a good point eventually. I myself think that is utter illusion. It's a delusion. It doesn't work. Violence and lies and all this stuff doesn't work. So we, as target individuals, we gotta tell ourselves the truth about our situations. We gotta use the truth. We've got to, you know, not use violence, but be strong. Be aggressive in your life, but don't be violent. You know, I think that's where people get mixed up in this. They're like, you know, because I've felt that before. I'm like, man, you know, we should be able to fight. We should be able to fight for our families. We should be able to fight for our freedom. Let's be aggressive about that. Intelligent and aggressive and energetic. but definitely not violent, because violence is just going to give these guys what they want. It's going to set us back with this technology where we can't get it out to the public. It's going to cost more lives. It's important to come at it aggressively but intelligently, because it is a more complicated world now. You can't just go over and box it out with your neighbor and settle things. There's deceit and weird corruption everywhere. So good people we have to be aggressive and intelligent in the actions that we take. I know I got super preachy. I went from rant to super preachy at the end. Very sorry about that, but I got it out of my system. Thanks for listening, guys. Y'all know me. Y'all know my videos. So, and I had a comment. It does take me back, but I'm doing what I think is right. I'm doing it the way that I feel led to do it. So I don't feel like I should, like I've done anything wrong, or the way that I'm presenting what I've gone through, or the way I'm doing it could be done any other way. But I did get a comment by somebody who was really intelligent, and they knew a lot about the directed energy weapons and targeting, and they were like, you know what, man, and they were very nice about it, and